This is real life, not Wall Street, but Main Street. A real show on what's really involved with starting and running a business with all the ups and downs. Our guests will answer your questions and provide you with valuable information. Stay tuned and join in the conversation.
When the earth was created.
Have a good day.
Todd, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing great, Jack.
Jumping around like a Mexican jelly bean today.
Yeah.
Even without chocolate. I'm going to stop on the way home and get some chocolate.
That's great.
What's
social
exciting?
Security, social media. I guess it's time to really get down to business and talk commercial real estate. Let's talk some deals.
When you walked in, I was looking at the Wall Street Journal from the other day, and I read that Gap is closing a quarter of their U.S. stores. And this is happening just slowly. Radio Shack, Gap, Staples, one chain after another.
I mean, look, during the downturn, a lot of companies closed a lot of their stores. I don't know if you remember it, but Starbucks closed a third of its U.S. stores during the downturn in 2009.
Remember, let me tell you.
And let me tell you something. Starbucks is still a widely popular and wildly successful company. Anywhere you go, you see Starbucks. Everyone drinks it. Everyone knows the brand. And they closed a lot of stores, too. So sometimes it's just an overbuild situation. And sometimes it's competition from online and the bricks versus clicks problem that we're experiencing today.
100%. I just think the landlords, when they buy these investments, have to be aware that some of these big companies, they just close stores. That's just the way it goes. And a lot of people make the mistake of counting on these leases being there forever, thinking, they have a huge store. And in fact, McDonald's announced it, I think,
that's right,
2-3 weeks ago, they're closing
700 stores.
Yeah, so
that's a lot.
It affects a lot of people, and I think people have to be careful when they buy real estate. Doesn't mean real estate's bad. We're going to talk about deals. I just think, again, you see now every month or two another major company announcing massive store closures, and it's part of the new economy. Is you say, what'd you call it? Clicks instead of bricks.
Right. Clicks versus bricks.
Did you make up that term?
I did not make it up, but it is a tried and true term with the onslaught of the internet and internet marketing of goods and how it's sort of taking over and cannibalizing, in a lot of cases, cannibalizing its own business, and in some cases, like with the Amazons, certainly taking market share away from other companies.
But conversely, the neighborhood shopping centers, there's always going to be a Chinese restaurant. There's always going to be, certain
dry cleaners.
Yeah.
Sure. Look, grocery stores, although they're even moving a little bit online, and there's some options and alternatives. But here's the deal. Real estate, and the key to real estate always has been and always will be location, location, location. Okay? The first thing that people need to evaluate is it a good location? Okay? And how you define that and what you want to use as your metrics for that, they can be different. But, one of the unique things about the South Florida market, I've talked about it before, I'll talk about it again, is that they're not making any more land in between the Atlantic Ocean and the Everglades, which are nationally protected wildlife preserve, and therefore all the land between those two things is intrinsically valuable. Now, how valuable it gets depends on other factors, but they're not making more land in between those things. And what they are doing is people are migrating, and the demographics are changing in South Florida's favor to a huge extent. People are just flocking down here for the good weather, the good real estate market, the good-looking people, and I will tell you that that trend is not stopping anytime soon.
So when you say good-looking people, you mean you and Wanda?
That's what I'm talking about.
That's
Jack. Jack, don't sell yourself short.
Believe me,
you're a tremendous slack.
I'm short. You want a good laugh? Just look at me. No, tell us about some real deals on the market that if a buyer wants to buy, I know you brought them. I'll let you describe them.
I work with Marcus and Millichap. That's my company and our platform, and we're the largest private real estate advisors and brokers in the country. When I say private, I don't mean we're a private company. We actually went public last year, but private meaning our biggest clients are private individuals, not institutions. We work in the space between $1 million and $25 million deals, and we thrive there. We're the best. We're better than the next 6 competitors combined in that space. And I sell shopping centers and retail deals all over South Florida. The deal I brought today is a 13,000 square foot strip center mom and pop tenants. In other words, there's no
So those are
nationally
the type of
backed credit
tenants
tenant
that aren't closed. I don't want to say they may not close
Sure.
up, but you always need a local deli. Or,
Yeah, I mean, there's a laundromat, there's a mini market, a travel company, there's a pawn shop in there. And frankly, the pawn shop is grandfathered in where we are because the city of North Miami isn't granting licenses for any other pawn shops to open, and you can't move your pawn shop anywhere else. So the pawn shop that's there, which is very successful, can't really go anywhere. So that's a good thing. But yeah, it's a full 13,000 square foot small bay shopping center, 100% occupied, offered at $150 a foot, 7.55 cap, which is the yield that an investor would get if they invested in this deal. And adjacent to this, right next door, we have a 3/4 of an acre lot, which is a commercial zoned lot. You could build additional retail space. You can build office space. You can combine the two. You might be able to do other things. They're pretty liberal in that area, but I can't guarantee you that. And it's right on the corner. And so you can really buy both deals together and get yourself a nice value add play with stable income while you get your approvals and while you plan and develop what you're going to do with the vacant land, and then build extra space, whether it's for one tenant. Maybe you put a Dunkin' Donuts or something like that, or a convenience store there.
How big is the land?
The land is 3/4 of an acre, so it's pretty much good for all uses. National tenants.
How much is you asking for the land?
$775,000.
What's it zoned?
It's zoned commercial, which in that zone allows.
Can you build a fast food restaurant there?
You can.
Wawa's moving down here.
That's right, but it's not big enough for Wawa's foot.
Gotcha.
Footprint.
Drive-through bank.
A bank might work there. A bank would obviously be the best because they pay the best rents when you're looking at stuff like this. But really, it could be a single tenant of a lot of different kinds, or it could be a multi-tenant. You could put retail on the bottom floor, build a 2 or 3 floor building, which you're allowed to do, and have office upstairs if you want to maximize. I think it's approved for up to 9,000 or 10,000 square feet. What you have to look at with stuff like this is how much parking you need to have, and right away and easements and this and that. So, you can't build a 3/4 of an acre building on a 3/4 of an acre lot. There's setback requirements.
Yeah, well, you have to get engineering, and
sure,
they'll tell you what you can build there.
Of course. But it's an interesting play. I mean, some people look at the land on its own merits and have a nice, they might have a tenant in their pocket, or they might be a developer. They might do it on spec and buy that deal. And some people are just looking for the stable, conservative, growing market. This is in North Miami along the West Dixie corridor. And, it's 2 or 3 blocks off Biscayne. Biscayne prices are outrageous. They have the new LaCache development that's going in over there. And, I mean, billions and billions of dollars are being spent over there on Biscayne. Cranes are up everywhere. And just 2 blocks away, another big thoroughfare north-south in this marketplace is West Dixie. And though West Dixie doesn't have the cachet, the glitz, and the glamour of Biscayne, there are a lot of businesses, there's a lot of traffic, and a lot of people live in this area, and they always will. And, it's a good, cheaper alternative. To get something for $150 a foot on Biscayne can't happen anymore. Not happening.
So if someone wants to buy this shopping center, how much real cash out of their own pocket do they need, you think?
So the center itself is being offered at $1.9 million. Which, conservatively, you could put 35% down. So let's figure you put, somewhere around $600,000 into that, and you could get financing, pretty competitive financing that will increase your cash-on-cash return. And that's the net cash that an investor will get in his pocket or her pocket after making that investment.
Gotcha. So it's not too bad. You could team up with other partners. Todd, what's your contact information again? We got to go in a minute or two.
So again, Todd Cohen with Marcus and Millichap. My number is 786-522-7021. And I look forward to working with any and all of you, or answering any of your questions you have about the real estate market itself or any of the deals that we have on the market.
As always, thanks for coming in. Thanks for your good information. Wanda, thank you for your help today. I feel like we didn't have enough time to bond, and I missed our bonding experience. To my lovely wife, I love you. I can't wait. You're just as hot and sexy as you were 20-something years ago or 30 years ago.
Save it for the home.
I will save it, but I got to do some prep. And everyone, remember, have passion, have excitement. Whatever you're doing, thing. If you're going to do it with excitement and passion. If you're not going to do it, just don't do it and sit and watch the Flintstones or Hogan's Heroes.
There you go.
And with that, everyone, thank you very much. Again, look us up on Facebook, Jack Miller Down to Business, and I can't wait to talk to everyone next week. Thank you, everyone, and have a great day.